I've got it in my sights. The colors feel so right. Got my feet off the ground. I'll keep on running. Oh, I can feel it now. The colors all around. Just take my hand. We're gonna reach for the stars tonight. I think that song's about dropping acid. I just putting that out there. It's time for Planet Wisp. This level was special to me because it is the only modern Sonic game I had played at the time when Generations was released. Before Sonic Colors, the most recent Sonic game I had played, no BS, was probably Sonic 3D Blast. Like, I think that's how far back you have to go. Because, like I said, I didn't have a Dreamcast. They released a console after the Genesis and before the Dreamcast, but I think it was a myth, because I don't know anybody who actually had one. It was named after one of the planets. It was called the Uranus, I think, the Sega Uranus. I didn't have one. What the hell ever. So Sega just kind of pretended they were a console developer for much of the 90s, and whatever, they weren't. It wasn't until the GameCube era came along that Sega started making games for real consoles again. There we go, Lightspeed Dash. I was terrified that I wouldn't get that, but I did. Awesome. So yeah, they released GameCube games, and that was, let's look. I don't know, does the Sonic Mega Collection count as its own game? Because I did play that. I played the hell out of that. That was awful. I did not want to hit that stupid bumper. So yeah, Sonic Colors came out, and the first thing that really endeared me to it was the soundtrack. Like, my friend Sovin, I think, was the first one who's like, you gotta check out this soundtrack. Like, they released the soundtrack. Did they release the soundtrack before the game, or did I just hear the soundtrack because, like, somebody uploaded the songs to YouTube illegally? I might add, in total and flagrant violation of copyright law. Maybe that was it. But yeah, you guys all know Sovin. He's that weird British guy who inhabits my channel from time to time. I went the wrong way. Hold on. How do I do the rocket? I gotta remember this. You hold down the Y button, and then you release it, and you fire upward. Like that. Okay, good. Anyway, he's like, dude, check out the soundtrack. I'm like, okay, I'll check it out. And, like, it was awesome. Like, I really, really loved it. Duck under that. Like, the soundtrack does a lot of cool things by remixing songs. Like, how do I put this? Like, it'll take one song, and the soundtrack will use it in a couple different ways and a couple different styles for different variations of levels. And I love when games do that. Because it first of all, it makes the soundtrack... Oh, I can go this way. You want to go up or down? Probably. Usually in Sonic levels, you want to go always on the top path, but in Planet Wisp is really big, convoluted levels, so it's kind of hard to tell. But anyway, I think it makes games really distinctive when they take one song and they'll use it several different ways. And Sonic Colors does, to great effects. And you'll see that in this game because you'll hear two very different versions of Planet Wisp music. Up. Oh, I didn't make it. I gotta go up this way. Like, you're listening to the music now, and it's kind of cool sounding, but it's kind of mellow, it's kind of chill. The classic version of the song, which you'll hear at the second half of this video, is much more of a... I don't even know how to describe it. It's kind of a... I mean, it's more retro flavor. It's kind of like the Planet Wisp funk, really. And I jumped right into that saw blade. Totally did not see that coming. Absolutely not. But anyway, I did mention in the first video of this series that I liked Sonic Colors, but the game is like a hot mess. It has a lot of problems, and I didn't make it through that part as cleanly as I wanted to. I didn't practice Planet Wisp, because this level is so huge, and it's so hard to keep in your head all at once. I didn't think that practicing would improve my chances of getting a good rank. So, whatever. So Sonic Colors does have a lot of problems, a lot of focus problems, I think. The issue being, like, it's hard to I do want to go up top here. I gotta get my wits collected. I can't go up top here. Can I jump from here and get to it? Yeah, that works. That's fine. I can get on Jabroni's platform here. Fine. Perfect. That wasn't perfect. That was horrible. What am I talking about? Sonic Colors is what I'm talking about. Focus issues, a lot of it. And you can see some of that in this level because this is the Planet Wisp level from Sonic Colors. It's so busy. Like, and part of that, it's like it was okay to make busy levels compared to levels in Sonic 06 or any of the other 13,000 Sonic games. Like, there are a lot of modern Sonic games. You will not hit me a third time, Charles. Charles the Miner. I actually can't get hit at all because... Okay, now I got it. Now I'm good. I'm good again. I'm trying to collect my train of thoughts because I'm trying to give my thoughts on Sonic Colors, but I'm not playing Sonic Colors, so that can be kind of difficult. I need to collect this rocket to go up. Focus problems. It was really easy to die in really stupid ways because that wasn't Charles that got me that time. That was Christopher the Miner. I didn't say that Christopher wasn't going to get me. I said that Charles wasn't going to get me, and he didn't. Totally, that was Christopher. Sonic Colors. What am I talking about? I can't even think straight. I had a long day, okay? And I remember Sonic Colors dying a lot in really stupid ways. And not because I didn't know what to do, just because I already had a rocket. I did not need another one. Just because, like, oh, I have to boost through that part, but I didn't know beforehand. Or, oh, I was supposed to slide under that, but I didn't know beforehand, you know? It does do the thing in this, like, Generations does where it telegraphs ahead of time what you need to do. Like you'll see, it pops up, the B button, so you know how to push the B button and slide under a wall. Well, in Generations, if you miss that prompt, if you're not quick enough on the draw, or as I like to call it, the drizzaw, basically you just kind of run into the wall and you look like an idiot. It just stops you for a moment. Colors has situations where if you don't... I wanted to go up and hit those rings, but I didn't. Too bad. Colors has situations where, like, okay, you're supposed to hit the B button and slide, but if you don't do it in time, and is that rocket gone forever? Thanks, that's the one rocket that doesn't respawn. I'm just going to boost this part, I don't care. Colors has situations where if you don't slide in time, instead of just stopping, you'll, like, run into spikes and die. It's like, oh, okay, I just died, but the last checkpoint was only 2 screens ago, so I kind of don't care that I died. I've got, like, tons of lives, and there's checkpoints everywhere, so who really cares? So I played a lot of Colors, just dying a lot. And I think part of the focus problem is there's way fewer levels than Generations. Or, I'm sorry, way more levels. How can I put this? Okay, Generations has 9 zones, 3 from each of the Sonic eras, and then each zone has 2 acts. So 9 zones, 2 acts, kind of reminiscent of the old school Sonic games, right? We only have a couple of zones, and then like 1 or 2 levels, or 2 or 3 levels in each act. Sonic 1 had 3 acts each, Sonic 2 and 3 had 2 acts each. That was about enough. Every time you go into a level, it's like, okay, I know I'm going to get 2 complete acts from this level, and that's about it. Totally works for me. Well, what Colors does is you still have zones, but they're really large. Each zone has, like there's the roller coaster zone, and there's, like, the hamburger zone. I mean, like, literally there is a zone made out of hamburgers. And then the water zone, and then the Planet Wisp zone, etc., etc., etc. But each zone has multiple acts. Like, I'm talking like 4, 5, 6 levels per zone. So you go through the first act, is like, okay, kind of just a fun, typical Sonic level. Oh, yes, I made it up. Good. I hate when I don't make it all the way up through that wall, and then I've got to go all the way back down and get another rocket. So you play through the first act of, say, Aquatic Park. And it's a typical underwater level. Cool. You collect the little color guys and you do the little wispy magic. That's fun. And then, like, the second act is kind of the same thing, just twisted a little bit. Kind of like in old school Sonic games, the second act built on the principles of the first, but was still a little different. But then they're like, oh, we're out of ideas now. We got 3 more acts in this zone. What do we do? Well, what they did was they made a lot of gimmick act. Like, a lot of, like, kind of like the Mach Speed sections in Sonic 06, or like where you have to collect things or go through a maze with the blue block power. And it was a bit like, imagine if Generations, you've seen some of the friend levels I've done, imagine if those were in the main game. Like, yeah, you have to complete a couple of them to complete the game, but for the most part, they're optional. Well, in Colors, they're not optional. All the dumb gimmick levels are right there in the main game. And it's like, those are the part that I don't like. So I played through Colors and I enjoyed it, but I feel like I died a lot when I didn't deserve to, and I feel like I spent too much time trying to figure out gimmick levels instead of just enjoying the game. I knew them spikes were there. I knew those spikes were there. I hit them anyway. I figured if I did not hit those spikes, then, well, I just wouldn't get any dessert. Let's be honest. Can I go up top here? No. I mean, I could. Really? What is this garbage? What is this mess here? That's some Mystic Cave crap right there. That's what that is. What are you doing? So, the Sonic Colors level in Sonic Generations has a bit of that. It's actually a lot different than the other levels in the game. This platform is just trolling me. It's just trolling me. And part of the reason it does that is because the whole gimmick in Sonic Colors, rather than having all kinds of friends join your party and, oh, now you're playing a Rouge level, now you're playing a Knuckles level, oh, this is fun. No, it's not. Everybody hates Sonic's friends. The gimmick is that Sonic has superpowers that he gets by eating candy aliens. And the candy alien superpowers, there's like about a dozen of them, I think, throughout the game. And some of them are rad, like the laser power was really fun, and you had the frenzy power, which looked really cool. Then you had like the box power, which worked like kind of like P-switches in Mario, where they turned rings into boxes and vice versa. So I kind of see where in Generations they're like, okay, we have to do a Sonic Colors level, so we have to give Sonic his, candy alien powers. Like, we just have to. Otherwise, it's not a real Sonic Colors level. Well, instead of giving him a bunch of different powers, they gave him one power per act. So in the Modern Act, he gets the rockets, and in the side-scrolling Classic Act, he gets the spikes. What I don't like about the Planet Wisp levels are that the rocket and the spike work so differently from everything else in Sonic Generations that they just feel out of place. Even though it is a Sonic Colors level, and ostensibly you were supposed to have played Sonic Colors before, I probably should go up there because there's a red ring, but I don't feel like going up there. I feel like going this way. I felt like hitting that guy and taking damage. I really did. I need to go and trigger... Can I go up over here, please? Thank you. Oy. No, come on. Get on the... You see what I mean? How I'm having trouble with the spike? It's just so different from everything else in the game. It's like in Sonic Colors, they wouldn't just throw a spike at you. You would collect your first spike in a level where you've never seen a spike before, and they would kind of teach you how to use it a little bit before they kind of threw it at you crazily. And now I can spin this thing and lower the bridge. Awesome. Awesome. Now I can go. So, I don't hate the Planet Wisp levels, like, at all. On the contrary, I do think they're fun levels, but I have to question how much of it they base on the alien magic, which, come on, I was facing the right way that time. Arrgh. I'm trying to say I like this level, guys. I'm trying, and you're making it very difficult for me because Spike is happening. Good. On the platform. Awesome. Let's go. I just question how much of the level they based around using the alien magic when the alien magic has no place in the rest of the game. And you see these little gimmicks pop up in other levels, like the car in Seaside Hill, or I've got to get Spike again here. Or the skateboard in City Escape. So you kind of see how they did put the gimmicks in, but they integrated them into the levels in a more natural way. Where in this particular level, it really feels more like, okay, you need to learn how to use the spike magic, or you die and you're not going to be successful. I don't know. So I think because of that, even though Crisis City exists and it's not fantastic, and even though Speed Highway exists and it's not fantastic either, I think Classic Planet Wisp might be my least favorite level in the game, even though it is very similar to Sonic Colors, which, as I've said, is the only other modern Sonic game I've played and enjoyed. So I don't know what that makes me. probably just the guy who spent way too much time talking about goddamn Planet Wisp in this video. Come on, get up there. Get up there and get the spike, Sonic. No, you have to go all the way up. Like, there's no point for this little area to exist down here. No point at all. Can I just pass this part by? Can I just not do the spikes in this area? Can I just... How far can I go before the game will be like, nope, you gotta do some more spikes? So again, this is one of the reasons I didn't bother cracking this level. You know actually what else this one stage reminds me of a bit? Is Oil Ocean in Sonic 2. Because you can play Sonic 2 and be like, I'm gonna play Sonic 2, and I'm gonna like really learn the level. I'm gonna try really hard to stay on the top path in Aquatic Ruin this time. And I'm gonna do a really good job this time on my run through Sonic 2. And I'm gonna do all the special stages and get the Chaos Emeralds, and it's gonna be great. Can I duck under here? Yes. Okay, but then you play Sonic 2 and you get to Oil Ocean and you're kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of over Sonic 2 now. I'll just get hit a lot in Oil Ocean and not care if I die. I don't know. That's kind of what this was like for me. So I just kind of don't care if I'm doing badly anymore in Planet Wisp. And, okay, Sonic's spin dash works differently when you have Spike, too. Like, normally you have to push the button a lot to spin dash. But if you have the Spike, they want you to hold down the button to spin dash. That's not fair. It's like the spin dash should work the same regardless of how you're using it and what level you're in. I don't even know where I'm going at this point. I don't know if this is... No, this is the Spike that I just got. Dag Narbits? Now I'm going ostensibly, maybe, perhaps the right way. Get on there. Yeah, I couldn't dodge that missile. I don't know. I just... And that was probably a bad idea getting those boots. Get a ring, because this guy's going to shoot me again. I just know it. Oh, he didn't. He decided to go into the ground instead. He's like, I'm not going to shoot that guy again. Let me tell you the other reason that Sonic Colors caught my eye when no other Sonic game had for like a decade was, okay, the campaign that they did, marketing campaign they did for Sonic Colors was which one of Sonic Friends is going to be playable in the new Sonic game. And they had like a silhouette, like a picture of all Sonic's friends in silhouette. And the idea was, I don't want to play any of these assholes in the new Sonic game. Screw all of them. So, but as the campaign went on, they crossed out more and more of the silhouettes. I think I need to trigger all of these to go forward. It's a puzzle level. No, it's just awful. It's not a puzzle at all. It's just the worst. Can I get up here? There we go. But as the weeks went on, it's like none of Sonic's friends made the cut. Which I thought was awesome. I'm like, oh, okay, so it's a Sonic game where you actually play as Sonic and only Sonic for a change. The whole game is based around playing Sonic. That sounds like fun. I think I could probably handle that. That ended up not being entirely true because, like I said, a lot of the game revolves around using Sonic's candy magic alien powers that you get, all the wisps. But they're integrated into the levels pretty well. They work more like Mario power-ups than the traditional, oh, now you're playing a different Sonic character who you don't care about, and all the controls are different, and this is just awful. So my suggestion to you, my viewers, is if you have not played a modern Sonic game, if you've kind of abandoned the series, is I still got an S rank. You see how long this level is? S rank is 8.5 minutes. Wow. Play Generations first, and then if you finish Generations and you're like, okay, that was pretty goddamn awesome, and then you're like, you still want some more Sonic, and if you own a Wii, then I would suggest picking up Sonic Colors off the discount rack. There isn't any stupid waggle in Sonic Colors. It has that going for it, which made me really happy. And you know what doesn't make me really happy? Is, yeah, Charmy the frickin' Bee. Hey, where'd the party go? Up your butt, retard. God, I hate that guy. I have no idea what Sonic game he's from. It's like, at this point, I don't know if he's in another Sonic game. I think they literally invented this character for Generations to put at the end so So they can say, this is how retarded our character design has got. This is the kind of character we used to put in games, and now we have to put him in this game. Say, screw that guy. We've got more friend levels to do. Which probably means a Charmy to B level. God help me. I'll see you guys tomorrow.